Hello my dear children, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing fine and taking necessary measures to keep yourself healthy. So children, for today's English lesson, we are going to continue with the adjective chapter that we had started in our previous video lessons, and today we are going to continue with the kinds of adjectives that we had studied in our previous video lesson. So we have already finished the three kinds of sentences, namely adjectives of quality, adjectives of quantity and adjectives of number. Also in my previous video lesson, I told you about how you should use a few and little, a little, right? And also about much and many. Now in this video lesson, first I'll be giving you some examples on them. That means on using a few, little, a little and much and many. And then we will move ahead with the rest of the adjectives kind. Okay. You have also one exercise to finish before we move to the other three kind of adjectives. Now let's get started with the class. So the first example that I want to give you about using this kind of sentence is, they have little money to spend. Have little money to spend. So first we note the noun in the sentence, right? Let's first work with the noun. So here we can see the noun is money, and you know money is an uncountable noun. So money is uncountable noun. That's why we are left with the use of only adjective of quantity, right? So you have to use adjective of quantity for uncountable nouns. So adjective of quantity has to be used before an uncountable noun. Now what? You have to see, you will be using a little or little only. Why I have used little here? Because I want to say that he has almost no money. So this is used in negative sense. Okay. So this one is in negative idea. This is a negative idea, which means he has almost no money. Almost no money. Little means almost nothing, almost none. So he has almost no money. If I add a little, means if I add a letter to this one, if I say number 2, if I say they have a little money, if I change it a little bit, so they have a little money to spend. Okay. This completely changes the idea. This becomes positive. When I have used this letter a with little, it becomes positive. Okay. It presents a positive idea. That means what? They have a little money. That means they have some money to spend. Okay, they have some money to spend. So I hope you got this clear, that when you use only little, it means they have no money, they have almost no money, and when you add a to this little, it becomes a positive idea. It says that at least they have some money. They are not completely empty, they are not completely devoid of money, they have some money. Okay, so a adds to it. A little is used in a positive idea, but little without a is used as negative, to present a negative sense. Okay, so here also we know that money was uncountable. So here we can see that money was uncountable noun. That's why we had used a little. So this was adjective of quantity. We talked about little and a little. Now let's move to the adjective of number. Okay, a few and few. I will be giving you some example to understand it better. So let's move to that one now. The first example for it has to be, now this one is third sentence for today. He has few good friends. He has few good friends. Okay, now what does that mean? When I am saying few, it is very much clear, and the noun, first you observe the noun, this is countable noun, right? Friends can be counted. So this is a countable noun, friends. So now with this one we have to use an adjective of number, right? Because it is countable. Adjective of number. Okay, so here we can see few denotes some amount, some quantity in number actually. So here few means it presents a negative idea. That means what? He has almost no friends. Okay, almost none. Almost none means very few good friends, means he has friends but not all of them, and mostly none are good friends. Okay, so almost none good friends. So he doesn't have good friends. Here you can see good is also an adjective, and it is a adjective of quality. Okay, so few is the adjective of number and good is the adjective of quality. So this few is used in negative sense, which means almost none. He have no good friends. Now with number 4, if I write it like this, he has a few good friends. Now this is said in a positive, it represents a positive idea, which means he has at least some good friends. He has at least some good friends. Not all are bad, some are good. Okay, so here is this idea that when you use few, you means that almost none, and when you use a few, it becomes positive. It means he has some good friends. He is not completely devoid of it. He is not completely devoid of good friends. Now we have got this idea clear, and with much and more, you know, it's plainly simple. Let's make you understand through examples. Let me give you some examples so that you can have a clearer idea of it. Okay, now for much and many, now much and many. I slept for 2 hours क्या लिख रहे हैं? Much and many. I have many. I have many pens. Okay. Number 2. I do not have much time. Time. She ate many apples in that week. Okay, so she ate many apples in that week. Number 4. She needs too much money. Okay, here you can see that we have used many for countable nouns and much for uncountable ones. Like you can see, pens are countable, that's why we have used many. Time is uncountable, that's why we have used much. Apples are countable, that's why we have used many. And money is uncountable, that's why we have used much. So the idea should be cleared by now. Many has to be used with countable nouns and much has to be used with uncountable nouns. Okay, I hope this concept is clear. Now moving to the exercise, that's B of your book. We have finished A, now we are moving to the B section, B part. Okay, now let's write it down. Identify and classify the adjectives as adjectives of quality, adjectives of quantity and number. number. Okay. Now this is the B part. Number 1. The children played loud music. The children played loud music. So how are you supposed to write this exercise? How are you supposed to write it in your notebook? You will have to first choose the adjective and then write the adjective right below, and then you have to write the kind of adjective it is. First you have to spot the noun. Now here we can see there are two nouns. First is children and the second one is music. Okay, so children, about children there is no description, no describing what is telling anything about children, but for music we know that the music is loud. So here we have found the adjective. Now we will be writing it this way. So you will choose the adjective first and then you will be writing the kind of adjective this is. Now how was the music? What kind of music was it? Okay, you have to understand that this is not any other kind of adjective. So music, loud, the music is loud. So what kind of? I told you this question is associated with which kind of adjective? Adjective of quality. Right? Adjective of quality. Now moving to the next one, number 2. Number 2 is street dogs often become violent. Street dogs often become violent towards human beings. Okay, now if you watch it closely, the nouns here are dogs and human beings. Okay, but nothing is being said about human beings, but dogs are being called street first, street dogs. So this is an adjective, and then they become violent. What kind of behavior does this show to human beings? They become violent, they become aggressive. So here we see both of these street dogs. The dog is what kind of dog? Street dog. So street and violent, both are adjectives of quality. Okay, both are adjectives of quality. Now moving to the next one, third. Number 3. Some rice is left in the refrigerator. Some rice is left in the refrigerator. Okay, so here we can see there are two nouns. First one is rice and next one is refrigerator, but we don't see any descriptive word attached here associated with refrigerator, but we have the word some close to rice. It's telling about the amount of rice. So here the noun and some. I hope you remember what I told you about some. Some is an adjective of quantity. And because we have uncountable noun here, so we can understand this, that this amount is related to, this sum is related to, sum is an adjective of quantity. Okay, and it's not used in the sense for uncountable nouns. It has not been used as an adjective of number. Now moving to the fourth question. Is there any letter for me from the bank? Is there any letter for me from the bank? Now let's find the noun here. First one is letter, second one is bank. Nothing is being said about the bank, but what is being talked about? The letter is being talked about. That there is any letter or not. So this word any means you have to count it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and letter is a countable noun. So here we can write that any is adjective of number. Okay. Now moving to the fifth one. Number 5. Arnav loved to watch horror movies. Arnav loved to watch horror movies. So we can see that there are two nouns. First one is Arnav and second one is movies. So he loved to watch horror movies. So nothing has been said about Arnav, that Arnav is a TV watcher or is a good boy. Nothing about Arnav, but about movies we come to know that they are what kind of movies? They are horror movies that they like, that he likes. So the question is clear here. What kind of movies? What is the kind of the movies that Arnav likes? He likes horror movies. So with the question we understand that this is, the word horror is adjective of quality. Okay. Now moving to the sixth question. Many students gathered at the gate. Many students gathered at the gate to appear for the test. Appear for the test. Now here are two nouns, students and test, but nothing about the test, difficult test, about the CLAT test or the 12th board exams, nothing. So we find that student has to be the noun which is described by the quantity, that means the amount of students, many students. So because this is countable noun, students is countable noun, and for countable noun, when we denote the number of it, when we want to show the number, we use adjectives of number. for countable nouns. So this one, many, will be countable nouns, adjectives of number. Clear? Now let's move to the 7th one. The seventh question. There isn't much ice in the fridge. There isn't much ice in the fridge. Much ice in the fridge. Okay. So we can see that here ice and fridge are two nouns, but nothing is being said about fridge. So we will take ice, and what amount of ice is in the fridge? How much ice is in the fridge? Much ice is in the fridge. So this denotes, because this is uncountable noun ice, so much has to be adjective of quantity. Quantity, okay? Now next, question 8. One boy of class 6 won the competition. One boy of class 6 won the competition. Won the competition. Petition. Okay. So one boy. Now the nouns boy, class 6 and competition. Nothing about competition, nothing about class 6, but about the boy we know that he was one in number. Only one boy won it. So here the word one, which is used with countable noun, is adjective of number. Okay. Now number 9 and 10 is left. So let's complete that one. 9 is, we kept a few apples in the basket. We kept a few apples in the basket. Okay. So what do we know about apples? They were a few in quantity. So first we spot the apples, the noun, and then basket, but nothing has been told about basket. No word has been used to describe the basket. But for apples, we come to know that there are a few. A few is used for a positive sense. That means there are some apples. So a few is the adjective here, and this is adjective of number. Okay, because apples are countable. Now for the next one, number 10, the last question of this B part. There was much excitement among the people. There was much excitement among the people. People. So what do we write? Do you see the nouns here? Excitement is an abstract noun and people is a common noun here. So here we can see that because this is uncountable noun, it cannot be counted, right? This is uncountable noun. This is the reason we are using much here as the amount. So how much excitement? Much excitement. So the word here is much, and it is telling us that it is an adjective of quantity. Okay. So here it is. We finished this part. We finished the questions in B. Now we move to, okay. So we have finished the questions in B and we finish our lesson. So with this, we had done all our questions from 1 to 10 and this is all for today. Okay. Now for our next video lesson, we will be learning about the 3 more kinds that are remaining in adjectives, and then we will finish our lessons with all the exercises that follows. Okay. And after adjectives, we have degree of comparison of adjective. That is also very interesting. You will love to learn it. So dear children, thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something new. You understood everything that I explained today, and some explanation will be done in your online classes as well. So do not worry. Hope to see you in your next video lesson. Till then, take care of your family, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. I don't know.